My name is Desiree Sturdivant, and I am a musician. I graduated from the University of Texas at Austin in 2000, and I am also a mom and a homeschooler, and so I have lots of different trades that I do, but music has always been my passion and kind of something that I really enjoy doing, and technology has really enhanced my ability to create music on my own without the use of a recording studio and the expense that comes with that, and being able to also network a little bit to get some music jobs where I can sing at weddings or parties when I have time. I actually really would love to be there with you guys, but I am 8 months pregnant with our second child, so I'm not able to travel, and so of course traveling with little kids is hard anyway, but so that's why we're doing it this way, so hopefully you can kind of get an idea of my experiences through some demos and examples that I'll show you throughout this presentation. So the first thing I'm going to talk about and show is how technology empowers my musical experience. This first site that I'm on right now is called Dancing Dots, and they actually offer a lot of blind musicians different kinds of products. So there's some for low vision music readers that will enlarge the music for them. There's some that will translate a piece of sheet music into braille music or audio. And then there's what they call their cake talking software that works with Sonar, which is a very popular recording program that musicians use at home to do MIDI recordings and keyboard recordings, different things like that. So a couple great things about the site itself is that, of course, they've made it very accessible, being that it's targeted toward blind musicians, so it's very friendly with screen readers. They've got the headings labeled, so you can see where. So I'm able to see which headings are which and the levels that they're at. They've also done a very good job at labeling their links. And if I want to know what any of that is, I can just activate the link. So, and as you can tell, and I'll show you a list of the graphics on here, the site is designed so that the photographs are described. So it shows me exactly, it tells me exactly what the photos are on this main page of the site, so that I know this is a person playing a clarinet. So from this site I can actually order any of these products. They're quite expensive, so I don't actually own any, but they are available to all blind musicians. So with this particular product I can actually create my own musical scores, and it'll put it on a staff for someone to read it, to sight read it, to be able to print it out and read it. So that's one of the first ways that technology has really empowered musicians with disabilities, especially blind musicians. So the other thing that I use is Amazon.com's MP3 downloader, and it's a very accessible experience. I can search for any MP3 that I would like to, either by artist or by song, and it's very, very accessible to load onto my computer and then either put into my iPod, my iPhone, or any MP3 player. So as an example, if I search for, say, just Beatles maybe. So there's 1,022 album results for MP3 album results for the Beatles on Amazon. And I'm taken to a page with every song and album that I could get from Amazon. And again, it loads very easily, goes right into iTunes, and I can listen to it on my iDevices. And this table is actually another good example. The way that this table is laid out, rather than having to just arrow through everything, I can move by album or song title. So I'm able to very easily find the song I want and then download it onto my PC and put it onto whatever device I choose. And then the last thing that I use very extensively isn't on the web, but it is a software program that is accessible. It's called Audacity. And with Audacity, I can record my vocals or my instrumentals depending on what I'd like to do. And I'm able to make home recordings of myself. I'm a singer, I'm a voice major. So this is a software called Audacity, and it's free, and it's a recording software that enables me to create music, whether I want to do instrumentals or vocals, and then I'm able to edit them, create MP3s, make CDs, whatever I want to do with those, and play them back. And I can put different kinds of sound effects there as well, like echo and different things to enhance the sound quality of the recording. And this program is free and it's very accessible. So now I'm going to talk about the barriers that I experience when dealing with technology and music. Some of the frustrations that come in. One of them isn't necessarily part of the web, but when you talk about playing a DVD, whether it's a video DVD or a music DVD, a lot of them right now are very menu driven, and if you try to put it into a DVD player, it's sometimes very difficult to actually play the featured film or musical, and that can be very, very frustrating. Another thing now going to deal with the websites is when they use a whole lot of flash technology, but it's not done accessibly. And one example that I use is actually Pandora, which lots of people use Pandora. Let it go for a minute.
100%. Link. Same page link register. Vertical bar. Same page link sign in.
Now I actually tried to create a Pandora account or station from the website and was unsuccessful doing that. And I like Pandora for my iPhone. The app on the iPhone is actually more accessible than the website once you get it working. To actually register again, you kind of have to have somebody help you because the buttons aren't labeled. But here's an example of some flash areas. And it's basically empty. And there's probably content within those areas, buttons and different things, but they're not tagged, and so I'm not getting any kind of feedback as to what's in there. And then another example is if the buttons in the flash content are not labeled or they're not keyboard accessible. So they might be labeled, but you can't actually activate them via the keyboard. You have to click on them. That goes for not only flash buttons, but also any kind of on-mouse over elements. So up here at the top of the page, there's several things within this flash area here. And if I want to locate a dealer or go to products, I press enter on it and nothing seems to be happening with JAWS. It just sits there. Luckily, they've actually provided some links here at the bottom that also do the same things, which is good. So those are some of the barriers that I face as a musician on the web, and there are some software barriers too. There are many programs that do music that are all graphic based and have no keyboard, no ability to control them through the keyboard, and so that becomes a frustration as well. What can be done to improve? And I've kind of touched on that a little bit when I discussed putting links on, or tags on your links, labels on your graphics, fixing the flash content so that it reads properly in a screen reader, making things keyboard accessible as opposed to mouse only. And those kind of things would completely change my experience on those web pages, whether they're music related or whatever web page they are. One of the other things too is, and you've heard a lot today about audio description, and it would be really nice to have everything audio described, from live performances to films to musicals, anything that's available to everybody. To have that audio described would really change the depth of my experience with it. I've gone to several operas that are subtitled, and I fall asleep because I don't know what they're saying, and it's very difficult to know what the action is, let alone what the subtitles are. And so in that case, it would be really nice to have an audio describer in that live performance actually giving me the feedback that everybody that can see is getting. So those are some of the things that can be done. And of course, improving overall accessibility of anything that's menu driven, if it's a DVD or a video player or a recorder, to make sure that everything's gone digital, and a lot of times they lose buttons and they lose the capability of controlling them easily. So it would be nice to have everything a little bit more user-friendly when it comes to being able to push a button and have it work, rather than just having everything menu-driven. So I want to thank you for joining us today at this panel, and I hope that we've given you some information that has been really useful, and also given you some experiences that will make you want to make technology websites more accessible, not only for musicians, but for everyone with disabilities. If you have any questions for me personally, you can actually email me at Desiree, spelled DESIREE, at knowbility.org. And also, there's a blog off the knowbility.org website that you can get to, and we have a lot of updates on there regarding people with disabilities and accessibility related issues. And but yeah, definitely email me with any questions. If I don't respond right away, I could be having my baby. I never know. So I appreciate your attention, and I hope you have an enjoyable rest of the conference.